they were only a few weeks apart, we decided to combine our anniversary vacation with Johnny's gig. He was running sound for Tim Flannery and the Lunatic Fringe during the High Sierra Music Fest weekend. When I found out dogs were not allowed in the festival, I found a cool dog-friendly cabin a few miles away where I planned on enjoying a good book by the Feather River while Johnny worked. A few weeks later, I was invited to sing with the band, so I asked my parents to dog sit and called the cabin to let them know we'd be dogless. The lady seemed confused and then apologetic as she informed me that she had neglected to properly hold our room and it had been rented. Due to the festival, there were no other rooms available in the area, so she made a few calls and all of a sudden we found ourselves booked at the Paxton Lodge, which was currently not open to the public. She said the owners were sympathetic and they would let us rent the Octagon Room, also known as the Honeymoon Suite, and she told me to check the place out online, that it had quite a history. There wasn't much online. PaxtonLodge.com had long since expired, and the first thing that popped up was a link to Ketty28.com, a forum for folks to discuss the unsolved Ketty murders of 1981, a quadruple slaying of a 36-year-old woman, her 2 children, and one of their friends. They were bound, bludgeoned, and stabbed to death in Cabin 28 in Ketty, just a few miles from Paxton Lodge. It was a horribly fascinating read with all sorts of theories and conspiracies, including an uninvestigated tie-in to the fire that destroyed the entire 3rd floor of the Paxton Lodge just 4 days after the murders. Continuing my search, I found a story in the Church of the Open Road blog, and I gathered that a woman and her husband built the lodge at the turn of the century to service the new railroad industry. One day, her husband left to conduct some business and never returned. The woman waited for him in a rocking chair by the window until she died. The rocking chair remains, and the story goes that the woman still holds vigil every night, waiting for her husband to return. Despite hours on the interwebs, I can find nothing about the year or their names. It was very frustrating. Wikimapia described the Paxton Lodge as a remote mountain retreat that became a famed legendary gathering place and recording studio for some well-known musicians of the late 1960s and early 70s, including Jackson Browne. Barry Friedman, with support from Electra boss Jack Holzman, was the moving force behind the lodge. KZFR.org's story says that after failing to locate an available property in Southern California, Friedman placed an ad in the LA Examiner, and the owner of the Paxton Lodge responded. Electra took out a 6-month lease and paid for everything: renovation, salaries, fuel, food, cooks, and house cleaning. We found out the Octagon Room, or the honeymoon suite that we stayed in, was the recording control room during those years.
There it is, right ahead.
Yeah.
You think so?
Probably.
In a quarter mile, the destination is on your right, 32160 Paxton Road.
Dude. Okay, so Johnny and I are exploring the Paxton Lodge, which we have been let into, given full reign of, and that's it. There's really nobody up here. There's a few cabins way over there with some people. Otherwise, this big, beautiful place is ours to roam about.
The bees in my head are so loud now. Track me down, they drown everything else out. They bring tears to my eyes, they bring down my disguise, they bring these songs that come out of my mouth. Sometimes it's too hard to fight. I should be fine by the end of the night. I watch the people I have come to know talking together after the show. get so low. Sometimes it's too hard to fight, but I should be fine by the end of the night. Hide out back a while under the trees. Think of Gordon and history. The beast swarming in his head. Sometimes he thinks he'd be better off dead. I hope he hangs on, if only just for me. Sometimes
I didn't film due to privacy issues, but later that night we met the owners, a group of friends who purchased the lodge to restore it to its original glory. They seem to have lost a little steam and probably money during the process, however, so the lodge remains unopened to the public. Johnny and I felt fortunate to get to stay here and experience a little of its magic, majesty, and mystery.